Hello everybody, my name is Marloe and welcome to episode 2 of my new survival series here in 1.18. And no, your eyes do not deceive you, I am back as my normal skin. For those who missed the first episode, long story short, I've been stuck as Alex, one of the default main characters, for a long while now, but through some rigorous trial and error, I've finally got back to my normal skin and everything is finally sorted. In between episodes, I've actually been doing a few bits and bobs here and there to prepare for this episode. To start off with, I dropped down into the caves below once again to do some more mining, got some resources and didn't die in the process, which is a Brucey bonus. I also stumbled across a geode, an amethyst geode, and basically tore that place apart for all of the calcite and amethyst I could carry. I then gathered some nearby cows, which weren't very nearby, they were a few hundred blocks away, but I set them up with a nice little cow farm just next to my base here, and I also expanded my sugarcane farm. Also, here's a not so fun fact. About a week ago, whilst I was trying to fix my skin issue that I've been having, I accidentally replaced my .minecraft file with a brand new one. And for those of you who don't know how bad of a thing that is, basically it means everything I've ever done in this game was wiped. So all of my worlds, all of my screenshots, everything was gone, which was really sucky, I must say. I'm over it now, thankfully, but yeah, that kind of broke my heart a little bit. Thankfully, this world survived because, well, it's brand new, and I also had online backups of 2 of my favorite survival and hardcore worlds, but the rest just gone like that. Really awful. Something else I've been doing in between episodes is making a list of materials that we're going to be using on today's starter house build, and they are right here. We have oak wood, dark oak wood, spruce wood, jungle wood, acacia wood, stone, andesite, bricks, deep slate, calcite, then some more on the second page, diorite, moss, sandstone, amethyst, glass, granite, and dripstone. Those are all for one build, and it's just the main building blocks. We obviously have some others that we're not using quite a high quantity as, like the little detail blocks, chains, lanterns, campfires, that sort of thing. This house is truly a smorgasbord of a load of different blocks in this game, and I kinda love it. I cannot wait to show you guys when it's all done. Thankfully, I do have a couple of these materials already, so I'm just going to rummage around my chest here and see what I actually have. It's definitely not a lot. It may honestly just be amethyst and calcite. The rest I think I'm going to have to get, but I just want to check what I have and what I don't have. Then I know what resource gathering has to be done. I suppose 3 out of 17 isn't bad. It could definitely be worse. It could be 0 out of 17, but it could also be a lot higher. Anyway, to start off today's episode, we are going to have to go on quite the resource gathering trip. But before we set off for that, I'm going to go to bed, and then we're going to do an enchantment, because as you can see here, I have 30 levels. So of course we're going to be enchanting our diamond pickaxe, and we actually previewed this in the last episode. It said we were going to get efficiency 4, which isn't really ideal if that's the only thing we get. I'm really hoping for fortune 3. No, we did get unbreaking 3, so that's a pretty good work pickaxe. I'm not going to use a grindstone or anything like that on it. I think the first thing I'm going to set off to do is gather all of the different wood types that we're using here. Acacia, spruce, dark oak, and oak. Already got enough jungle, so I don't need to do that one. Beginning to think maybe I should have enchanted a diamond axe instead of a pickaxe. A little bit of time later, and we have all of the wood that I think I'm going to need. I also passed by a jungle, so I just grabbed a little bit more of that. And I also came across various beaches, so I thought while I'm passing them, I may as well grab the sandstone, and also I'm just smelting up the glass. So there are 6 more things that we can tick off. Next up, we're going to head down underground and gather all of the blocks from down there. So we're going to get some more cobblestone to smelt up into stone. We're going to grab some andesite. We're also going to go down to deep slate level and grab some of those blocks. We can also get some diorite, maybe some more moss if I stumble across one of my lush caves again. If not, I can just grow it and gather it that way. And also some granite and dripstone. And that, apart from bricks, is actually all we need. With all of those blocks collected, we now have one remaining, and that is brick blocks. And I think the best place to go instead of to a river may actually be to head down, whoop, I nearly missed the water, to the Lush Caves biome once again and grab some down there because there are plenty of clay blocks. Also, this glow squid farm, super efficient. I mean, it's just naturally spawned here and every single time I come down, I get about half a stack of glow ink sacks. Not kidding. Every single time I drop down, there is just tons of these waiting around. I don't even quite understand how. Just on my way to the Lush Caves biome and I was digging some lapis and I found some diamonds underneath. So those are an extra 4 added to the collection. I think that's 12 in total now if I'm not mistaken. Yep, as expected, plenty of clay. There we go, that's enough for 2 stacks of bricks, which is more than enough for what we need for the build. Not that you can really see anything, but I found some more diamonds. And there we go. Wonderful! Those are all of the materials gathered up and ready to go, apart from the small little detail blocks of course, but I can always come back down and craft them. I do have some more brick here in my furnaces ready to collect, but I don't want to do that just yet because as you can see, once again I have another 30 levels, so I'm going to do yet another enchantment. And I'm going to hope and pray for Fortune 3. Now, I believe this says Unbreaking 3. Correct me if I'm wrong. No, okay, so we at least get Unbreaking 3, which is like, if you're going to have one enchantment, that's the best thing you can hope for, then your pickaxe is going to last a real long time. If we can get Fortune 3 on top, of course we can. Why would we? That's okay. Hopefully I can get 30 levels again soon and try once again. The reason why I want Fortune 3, of course, is so I can go mining and get lots and lots of resources. Here's something kind of interesting. This well here, it's actually floating. As you can see, it's not touching the path block below it. That must have just been how it's generated. It's not turned it into a full block, so there's like a 1 pixel gap, and this thing is just levitating. Kind of cool. Anyway, in this double chest up here that I'll show you in 1 second, we have all of the items that we've gathered up so far in today's episode. I'm going to get these in my inventory through 2 trips. I think I don't believe I have enough room to take it all up at once, and I'm going to bring it to the top of the mountain just next to that house up there, and then we can get started with the building. Nearly at the top now. I think I'm definitely going to have to put some sort of ladder in place until we get an elytra, because yeah, that's a bit of a pain to do every single time. But here we are at the location of our starter house. It's going to go just on this cliff edge here. There's actually an emerald to mark where I'm going to start building. I believe there is anyway. There should be an emerald ore somewhere. There it is. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so in my creative test world, just a copy of this seed. I've kind of marked it out in line with this emerald ore, so that way I know everything's going to fit on this cliff edge here, because it's going to be quite precariously placed, shall we say. First things first though, I do have to flatten the terrain just a little bit. And with the last flower pot filled, we are now done with the exterior of my starter base. And yes, I know, it's a little bit of a weird one. I am more than happy to admit that. I actually really quite like the fact it's a bit peculiar. It's definitely not for everybody. I'm more than aware that there will be some of you watching this video right now that are not particularly fond of this, and that's okay because, well, each to their own, and with all due respect, I like it and it's my build, so that's like the main thing, right? That goes for everybody. As long as you like it, that's all that really matters. And I branched out a little bit. I pushed the boat out and tried something a bit out of my comfort zone, And I think it all came together really, really well. And I can't exactly show you it that great in survival. And there's a couple of specific points that I kind of want to focus in on and talk a bit about. And I need to fly around to do that. And considering I am elytraless at the moment, I'm just going to bring my camera count on again. So aside from the fact that I have used approximately 1 million different blocks whilst building this, it is quite the block palette, there are a couple of bits that I actually really am quite fond of, such as this crane round the back just kind of over the cliffside. The whole idea with this is it's meant to be for a way to actually get up to the house. Currently we have a ladder that will be there until I get myself an elytra, but in theory, this would go all the way down and kind of pick you up and bring you up to the house. Obviously, it would get stuck on the rocks. I know, it's all aesthetic. It obviously doesn't work. Like the other parts I want to talk about, such as this chimney. I don't know whether I'm going to actually be able to connect that to anything on the inside, but it's like a moving element. Adds life to the build, and I love adding chimneys. I do them for basically every single house I ever make, I'm fairly certain. And then we have this around the front, a bit of a windmill. Once again, probably not going to be connected to anything on the inside, but that's okay because it just looks really cool out the front here, using jungle trapdoors instead of the usual wall blocks like people usually do, so I quite like that one. I also have this weird window detail made out of lecterns and oak planks and trapdoors. I saw something similar to this on Pinterest a really long time ago, and I cannot remember where I got it from, so sorry to whoever created something like this, but yeah, that's where I got it from. I just thought it was something a bit different, right? And then we have this whole building with a moss roof covered in berries and azalea. This is meant to be like a bit of a greenhouse, so I kind of wanted to portray that by having a very green roof. And then we have stuff like this, a roof made out of dripstone and granite, all covered in snow at the moment. We're going to have to go get some string at some point in time and place some of that down because it's really quite annoying at the moment. And just generally everything about this build, it's just a little bit weird and wacky, but I think altogether it actually comes out to be a really funky looking and cool build that I myself am actually quite proud of. So I really do hope at least some of you guys like it too. So the interior is very much so unfinished at the moment, as you can tell. I'm going to be starting work on this pretty soon, but before we do, I want to actually just head back down the mountain here. This is how I've been getting down, kind of just coasting through the ladders. Can be very satisfying when you don't take any damage, but I want to head off over in that direction and just see what the house looks like from quite far away, sitting there atop the mountain. Okay, this is probably a good spot, so let's just pop down the bed, go to sleep, and we can check it out in the morning. Hopefully, it looks pretty awesome. I got a feeling that it will. When it loads in, and there we go. There is my starter house. It would look a little bit better, I think, if we didn't have the villager house there. Or maybe it wouldn't. Maybe having that basic house next to it makes mine look really cool. Either way, though, I absolutely love that. I cannot wait to get rid of the ladders because that just looks like some sort of wooden waterfall, which I'm not really a fan of. So, yeah, we'll have to get rid of that soon. But for right now, it's going to have to stay because that is my only way up to get to my brand new start house. As I said, we're going to start work on the interior very shortly, but before we do that, I have a little adventure I need to go on, and it requires me to grab some more food for starts because I am fresh out of pork chops, and also some bones, and I'm going to head off in, I believe, this direction. There's something a little bit off with one of my cows, and I just can't quite put my finger on it. I think this guy might be a little bit under the weather. If you've been watching my videos for a little while now, you probably know that I really quite like having animal companions around, specifically ones that I can actually tame, and I thought since we're setting up in the mountains for the start of this world, I should get myself a wolf, who now hopefully is going to become a dog, and look at that, just with one bone, he is my best friend forever. And of course, guys, as always, he or she needs a name, so let me know your suggestions down in the comments below. Our unnamed pooch here has found a nice spot on top of this chest, and he is going to guard all of my items whilst I'm doing the interior of our start house here, and then I can show you around when it's all finished. Oh boy, we are finally done. I'm ready to give you the grand tour. So we can go in one of the 3 entrances here at the front. We have this one, the one round the back, and then this little side door. But this is kind of like the main entrance because we start off in this central room where we can either go out to the greenhouse, to this room, round the back here, and then outside or even upstairs. So there's quite a lot to show you. I guess we can head out to the greenhouse, which is fairly self-explanatory. I just got a nice little potato farm here for a food source. Having said that, I'm actually doing quite alright for food at the moment with all my meat I have. This is my enchanting room. We got some lovely amethyst on the floor. This is looking quite barren at the moment, and that's because I'm missing some parts of this little section. It's meant to be my brewing area, but obviously haven't been to the nether just yet, so I'm missing the brewing stands. But maybe we could do it a couple of other things in here as well. I'm not sure though. Any ideas are welcome down in the comments, of course. And out here we have my small furnace room. So we just got some furnaces here on the floor, as well as some up here as extra if need be. And then just a couple of other decorative pieces really, like paintings, lanterns, and flower pots. And now we are ready to head upstairs to the first room, where we kind of have my bedroom, just with some looms. I always use these as decorative drawers. I've got those 4 pixels added on in my own texture pack just to look like handles. So yeah, it's kind of meant to be like a little set of drawers, right? We got a cartography table if I ever need that. Nice little painting with a flower pot, and of course my bed. And then this leads us into the storage room, where I have, I think, 16 double chests in total with some glow item frames. I got so many glowing sacks I may as well use them. So this will do me nice until we're ready to start building my proper larger survival base. It should be enough storage for now. I'm also missing an ender chest on top of this crafting table because obviously haven't really got the materials to build that either. And we do actually have a ladder down here just as a shortcut if I want to go straight up into the storage room. And then the last room up here, we do have the door to get out to the crane. And oh, it's nighttime. I have to go to bed soon. So I'm thinking maybe I should add like a water drop down at the bottom. I don't know whether I'd risk that considering I don't have feather falling right now, but it's definitely an idea. But on the top room here, we have what is going to be my mending villager room. Currently missing the mending villager, but the idea is to get myself one of those and stick him in this top room here. And that way I can get mending books whenever I need to, nice and easily. So there is the starter house, fully complete in its entirety. The last thing we have to do is, of course, bring our dog inside. And I don't... Hello? Forgot they teleported. I don't know where I should put him or her. I'm just going to have a look around and see if anything sticks out to me. I have placed the dog on this spot right here, just in the enchanting room, just to fill in this empty space that we're having at the moment. So hopefully that's a pretty good spot for you. So the last thing we have to do to fully complete our starter base is to get our villager up in that top spot there. Now, unfortunately, this villager only spawned with 2 villagers, so I'm going to have to just take one of them, and if I need more, I'll have to cure a zombie villager, which it really isn't the end of the world. But I'm going to be taking, whoops, this guy right here, and I've actually been trying, quite a lot actually, to get a mending book by breaking the lectern and replacing it over and over and over again. I've actually tried 243 times. Maybe the 244th can be the lucky one and he will actually give me the mending trade on camera. No, he gives me no trade at all. So instead of grinding it out down here, trying to get the mending trade and then moving him up, I'm going to do it the other way around, just in case anything bad happens to him. I don't want to have to go through that effort for nothing. So I'm going to build a really long rail. I think is probably the best way to do this. Actually, I got a better idea. And that is to let him walk it himself. Not exactly. I'm going to break this lectern. Oh, that did not go to plan. I'm going to break all of the workstation blocks around here. And I'm basically just going to make him chase the lectern as we go. And then that way, every time I can place it down, I can just have a look, see if I've got a mending trade. So I'm going to do this all the way to the top of the mountain there. It was all going so well, and then the sun set, and he's decided to walk home. At this point, I'm really hoping we don't get a mending trade, because I do not have the supplies on me to actually trade with him, and I just don't want to have to walk back down and leave him when we're so very close to being near the top. Where are you going? No, please. Oh, he's picked up like the grindstone or something, hasn't he? I should have come more prepared. Look, a perfect lectern right here. You know what? That's fine. Let's just I don't know what to do. Let's leave this and maybe go break the blocks on the inside. Where are you going? Oh, there's another lectern up there. He's just doing it all himself. Is he going to become a No, he's becoming a... What are you becoming? A fisherman. Oh, no. The barrels. The barrels. Ah, it's always the barrels. I think what we're going to have to do temporarily is get rid of the barrels on the floor, replace them with something else, and then when eventually, hopefully, we do get the mending trade, I can put them back in position. But the main thing is, the villager is where he should be. What a beautiful dirt floor we have up here. I might even keep it. No, not at all. We are going to get the barrels back in position as soon as we can get this guy his mending trade. Hopefully this happens sooner rather than later, because I do not trust this man for doing a runner. And I believe if I block him in the corner, I don't think it's going to work. Let's actually try that, because if I could just kind of lodge him... Nope. If I could lodge him there... And then if I break and replace this, is that going to work? No, because he's not able to actually access the workstation. So I'm just going to trust that he doesn't sprint away. Well, I got it very quickly, actually. It's been like 20 seconds since I ended that last clip. And we got it for 38 emeralds, which is quite a lot. So at this point, I have two options. I either keep going and try and get for cheaper, or I lock this trade in place and do the zombie curing method, where I basically allow this guy to get eaten by a zombie, cure him, and he gives me cheaper trades. Well, my decision has been decided for me. I don't actually have 9 emeralds to lock this trade in place, and I'm fairly certain if you don't do that quickly, then this actually refreshes and you have whole new trades. So I'm going to go back to breaking and replacing. We are nearly at 400 lecterns broken, and I've gotten this enchantment, or trade I should say. It's not the best, but 24 is a whole lot better than 39, so I think I'm actually, just because I don't really want to do this any longer, I'm going to lock this in place. I also have some more emeralds, by the way. I traded them up with my farmer down that ways a little while. So there we go, 24 emeralds, that's reasonable for mending. Probably, now I have this locked in, I'll probably do the zombie method and actually try and get these trades a little bit lower. However, that's not something I'm going to be doing today. That's something I might actually do in between episodes, maybe. I'll see. I'm not in a rush to do it currently. But now we have the floor back in place. We no longer have dirt everywhere. Our villager here is locked in position, unless I open these trapdoors and he does a runner, but hopefully he shouldn't escape this room. But anyway, this is where we're going to have to say goodbye for today's episode. I really hope you guys have enjoyed watching. Thank you ever so much for doing that. It has been so much fun building up here in the new beautiful mountains. I cannot wait to do some more in the next episode. I got a pretty cool build in mind that I am very excited to show you guys. So I hope you're looking forward to that, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.